Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and I'm taking this daily answer writing initiative from Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. In this initiative, we discuss UPSC level mains, sample answers or previous year questions, and we discuss how to write good answers for them. The special part about this initiative is that you can send your answers to us to be evaluated by our experts entirely free of cost. So beginning with today, first of all, let's display what is the discussion question for tomorrow 9 p.m. So we'll discuss about why are land reforms needed, examine how they have evolved after independence. Answer in 150 words for 10 marks. You can send your answers to this question in the next 48 hours. If you are unable to write your own answer, then you can wait till tomorrow's discussion. We'll build an answer for this question tomorrow at 9 p.m. So you can wait till that time and you can share your answers after the discussion. So today is day 26 of Seize the Mains. The topic for today is from GS paper 2, important international institutions, agencies and fora, their structure and mandate. So let's see what is the question. India's 2-year tenure at the United Nations Security Council offers huge possibilities for enhancing India's multilateral standing and reshaping its traditional approach. Comment, answer in 250 words for 15 marks. See, this question talks about the recent non-permanent membership of India at United Nations Security Council, which just began last year. So the question is asking you that what kind of recalibrated approach can India take, or what should it take to enhance its multilateral standing and reshaping its traditional approach? What should be done differently? And since the directive here is comment, so when we are asked to comment on anything, we are asked to talk about all aspects of it. Whatever you know about it, whatever you can generate about it, whether it's a way forward or some facts related to it, you have to write them down. What are your viewpoints? What is the knowledge that you hold regarding this? So let's see what will be the data points for today and what will be a body paragraph. So don't start reading it, I'll read this out for you. In the past, many countries, especially China, have done veto over whatever resolutions India wanted to be passed. So China has used its power of being a permanent member at Security Council always, like now and again. So when India has this power of sitting as a non-permanent member in UNSC, what powers do we have? First of all, India is a founder member of United Nations, and we completely as a nation believe in the authenticity of United Nations. We completely abide by its laws. We devolve a lot of our troops every year to United Nations peacekeeping missions. So UN is what we stand with, and if we are able to leverage this position to enhance our standing in the world affairs, so there can be nothing better than that. Let's start with writing an introduction for this answer. An introduction is a conversation with the examiner. You have to talk about what is being talked about in the question. So United Nations Security Council and position of India, these are the two things that have been talked about. So write an introduction around it. Let me read this out for you. As a founder member, India views the United Nations as a forum that could play a crucial role to guarantee and maintain international peace and security. So this is the very basic part of it, that how we view United Nations, what is India standing on United Nations. So as you can see with the Russia-Ukraine crisis, with the Afghanistan and the Taliban crisis that was happening, the security situation or the global order is evolving, and the role of these organizations, especially the United Nations Security Council, has to evolve with time. So with the new and emerging challenges, the role of UN, especially the UN Security Council, needs to evolve, and India, now being a non-permanent member of UNSC, has a great role to play in this regard, especially in peacekeeping and fighting terrorism. So these two are the areas which are the need of the hour. Peacekeeping and fighting terrorism. In the past 1 year, the entire current affairs have been around these two topics. So we've taken these two keywords in our introduction itself. And now, since this is a comment question, we'll build upon whatever aspects we can think of regarding this question, that what are the aspects in which India can contribute, leverage its power or improve its own standing in the global order. So starting with the first point, the body paragraph. First of all is contribution to peacekeeping. As I told you that India has been devolving a lot of troops to United Nations peacekeeping missions. In fact, in 2007, India was the first country which which led an all women contingent for like your UN peacekeeping missions. No other country had done it till then. But this contribution of India, the number of troops that we are sending in, the number of peacekeeping operations that we are carried out every year, this has not been acknowledged to the point that it must, and India has not been able to leverage its position there. That we are sending so many troops, United Nations depends on us, but that hasn't benefited us in a way that it should. So India should leverage its position in its contribution to peacekeeping. India is the 4th highest troop contributing country at United Nations. It is also the first country to deploy an all-women contingent at a UN peacekeeping mission. However, this contribution of India hasn't been acknowledged enough. This platform, this non-permanent seat of United Nations Security Council gives India the opportunity to raise its voice against the wrongdoings in different parts of the world. Because we have troops devolved, because we play an important role in peacekeeping missions, so our voice from this platform, from the platform of Security Council is in a higher probability of being heard, and we can also direct where peacekeeping missions are carried forward. The next is bid for permanent membership. This is something that we have been trying for so long. We have like multilateral agreements with so many countries. We have an organization G4 sitting in place which wants reforms in the United Nations Security Council, and we want permanent membership for India because we contribute to United Nations in every way that we can, and India is completely eligible for permanent membership. So this is one thing. If we leverage our role now, if we play a good role at the Security Council now, the President of United States has recently advocated in favor of India for a permanent seat in favor of India for India at United Nations Security Council. So if we are able to play an effective role as a non-permanent member, there are higher chances that that seat can be transformed into a permanent membership seat. So which has larger benefits, the benefit of veto per se. So that's the most important point. So let me read this out for you. For decades, India has sought permanent membership at the United Nations Security Council. This is an opportunity for India to demonstrate its global power and strengthen its claim to permanent membership. As a rule-abiding democracy and a positive contributor to the security of the global commons, India can work constructively with partners to bring innovative and inclusive solutions to foster development by being a permanent member. So the last line just talks about how it will benefit the world at large if India becomes a permanent member, but the first part justifies it, that yes, we can leverage this position, yes, we deserve to be the permanent member at UNSC. The next point that comes to our mind is fighting global terrorism. So India is one of the first countries to raise its voice against international terrorism, because terrorism happening on our soil affected us for decades and it also affects us till date. So at international forums, we have always taken initiative to fight global terrorism, and with this non-permanent seat, India can make alliances, India can present discussions and debates and give a way forward to how to fight international terrorism, the way they receive funding, the way that they use technology, information and communication technology per se. So how terrorists operate, how this nexus actually operates despite of all the countries fighting against it. So international terrorism is something where India has a role to play because it is also in favor of our ideology. We have always been against terrorism. We have never supported it on our soil, and we've always joined hands with the international community in fighting terrorism. So this is a very important point. This concerns all parts of the world, this fighting global terrorism. So this is somewhere where India can take lead. So in combating terrorism, India can pursue concrete and result-oriented action by the Council aimed at effective response to international terrorism, addressing the abuse of ICT by terrorists, information and communication technology, disrupting their nexus with sponsors and transnational organized criminal entities, stemming the flow of terror finance. India could also push for an effective response to global terrorism. The next point that comes to our mind is that research and technological development. This is where India has an important role to play. See, many industries, for example, the manufacturing of vaccines, it is at manufacturing of vaccines and the subsequent clinical trials that need to be carried out to check the efficacy of vaccines. They happen at the lowest rates in the world in India. So that this manufacturing, this research can be carried out if India takes a lead. And not only this, we are leading International Solar Alliance. There are so many technologies upfront technologies or upcoming technologies and research regarding those which can be carried out in India or in partnership with other countries. So India has a role to play here, because here we can raise our voice. These like countries who are non-permanent members of United Nations Security Council, they can have debates on their issues, on the issues that they like, or the upcoming technologies they want to discuss. In fact, non-permanent members are a member of many committees and small organizations working in the United Nations Security Council framework itself. So they have a greater role to play on how the world moves forward. So technological development is a very important point here. Let me read this out for you. India can encourage partnerships to harness the benefits of technological innovation to reduce human suffering, enhance ease of living and build resilient communities. The cost of clinical trials and production of vaccines in India is lowest in the world. As world's pharmacy, India could seek to reform the global institutions to respond better to health crisis in future. So if ever, God forbid, we have any health crisis in future, India has a very great role to play here. One, we have successfully fought the COVID-19 pandemic. Secondly, like the vaccination rate was in India was amongst the highest in the world. And third, the research and technological advancement that can happen in India at much cheaper rates as compared to the rest of the world. So this is one part of technology and research. There are other components also where India has a role to play, especially if it is in partnership with other countries. Moving on to the next part, security and international peacekeeping. We learned that India sends a lot of troops to UN peacekeeping missions. India also has an important role to play in diplomacy, in international diplomacy, that how this Russia-Ukraine crisis moves forward. And India has always had a voice at the international forums, for example in Quad meetings, in BIMSTEC, in BRICS. So forums like these are where India holds a lot of importance, plus the market that India has. We are the largest market of the world, and the geographical position where India is like located. So security is one aspect, that not only whatever are the current happenings of these times where India has a role to play, but also the previous challenges or the long-standing challenges for like maritime security. So India can enhance its role and power in terms of maritime security, because we have like recurrent threats from China in the Indian Ocean and from pirates, and this leveraging of partnerships, this leveraging of position of having a non-permanent seat in UNSC can help India, and India can help them in enhancing the security conditions and maintaining peace in the world order. So in a rapidly shifting global security landscape, the persistence of traditional security challenges and the emergence of new and complicated challenges, India can offer a coherent, pragmatic and effective platform for collaboration to ensure sustainable peace. Thanks to our experience in ensuring sustainable peace and security in all geographical regions of India. India has coastal boundary, India has hilly terrain, India has all kinds of geographical boundaries, and that's where our experience comes from. We have had border issues with n number of countries, and this is especially important from maritime security point of view, as India has a long coastline and power display by China continues to threaten its geopolitical interest. So India has a role to play as it contributes to the United Nations, the countries of United Nations, with its experience, with its technological advancement, with its market, and it has a role to play because by taking a lead, we get a lot of benefits from this position of being a non-permanent member. Currently, the world is embroiled in crisis. This is the 8th time that India has got this seat in the UNSC, 8th time, and the world is under a crisis. We had not been done with the Taliban issue per se, and now we have this Russia-Ukraine crisis. It's always under watch of the entire world that how it will affect our future. We had this COVID-19 pandemic recently. So the thing is that it could appear bleak that India might not have a role to play, or India's membership will go waste, those 2 years will go waste, but that's not true, because at diplomatic level things go on happening, and this is the time when India has to take a lead, and India is in a position of power to take a lead, to tell the world the way forward. So concluding it, because this is a comment question, so you'll have to give analysis also side by side. So conclusion talks about that what were the what were the drawbacks of India not being present at Security Council and what are the benefits from here? So India's election to the Security Council as a non-permanent member offers a plethora of opportunities for securing its national interest and advancing its belief and agenda of rule-based world order. India has also suffered due to politicization of internal issues at the Security Council by hostile nations. So that's very much clear from here. With its presence in UNSC, such attempts could be diplomatically tackled in a more effective way. So this is just one fact for your prelims, that there is a veto with non-permanent members of Security Council also. Like, more than 7 people need to agree to any resolution that has to be passed by Security Council, more than 7 non-permanent members. And if the more than 7 are not there, 7 or more than 7, then it is considered a non-permanent veto. So that is a fact for your prelims. Go back home or wherever you are studying, try to write this own answer, analyze the content that has been given here, analyze it according to the current affairs that you have been reading recently, especially India abstaining from voting against Russia at the United Nations meeting that was held recently. So just see if you can add it here, or how can India walk a tightrope between like whatever the geopolitical conditions that are erupting now. So write your own answers, share them with us in the next 24 hours, that is by 9 PM tomorrow. Send your answers to us at this email ID, it's also there in the description, and you can download the PDF for this presentation from the link in the description below. So make sure that you write your own answers, you don't copy it from anywhere, and have faith in your answers, keep working hard.